Have you ever felt that life is spinning too fast? That everything around you is moving, changing, breaking, and nothing is really in your control? If you have, you are not alone. In fact, the truth is, nothing is truly under your control. Not your job, not your health, not the people around you, not even the next second of your life. Sounds scary? Maybe. But it's also the most liberating truth you will ever hear. Because once you accept that, once you truly understand it, fear disappears, pressure melts, and freedom grows. Today, we are going to explore why letting go of control is the most powerful thing you can do, and how this mindset can completely change your life. Part 1. Why everything is out of control. Life is not a neat plan you can follow perfectly. No matter how carefully you schedule your day, how meticulously you plan your future, or how organized your life seems, reality has its own way of intervening. Life is more like a storm. Sometimes calm and gentle, sometimes violent and overwhelming. You may wake up expecting a smooth day, only to encounter an unexpected traffic jam, a delayed meeting, or a message that changes your entire mood. You may plan for success, work hard, and prepare every detail, yet life often has surprises that no plan can anticipate. The truth is simple. Nothing is ever truly under your control. This realization can feel frightening at first, but it is also liberating if you learn to embrace it. Many people spend their lives trying to control what cannot be controlled. They make endless schedules, checklists, and plans, believing that these will shield them from uncertainty. They wake up early, work tirelessly, and follow routines, thinking they are in control of their destiny. But life has a way of laughing at these efforts. A sudden illness, a lost opportunity, a harsh comment from someone you trust, or even an unexpected act of kindness. These moments happen outside your plans, outside your control. And here is a secret most people do not realize. Stress and anxiety are not caused by life itself. They are caused by resisting life, by trying to force reality to fit our expectations. The more you fight what is naturally unpredictable, the heavier your burden becomes. Think of life as water flowing in your hands. If you try to hold it tightly, it slips away even faster. You may grasp and squeeze, but control is never complete. Water teaches us a profound lesson. The harder we hold on, the more we lose. Life works the same way. The more you try to micromanage every moment, every conversation, every outcome, the more it escapes your grip. This is not a weakness or a failure. It is simply the way life is designed. Accepting this truth is the first step toward freedom. Accepting chaos does not mean giving up. It does not mean you stop caring or stop taking action. It means you understand the natural order of life, that some things are beyond your influence, and your energy is best spent on what you can actually affect. When you stop resisting reality, something incredible begins to happen. You begin to breathe more easily. Your mind becomes lighter. You no longer feel the constant pressure to control everything. You start to notice the small joys that you previously overlooked. A smile from a stranger, a moment of quiet, the sound of rain, or the warmth of sunlight. By accepting that life is unpredictable, you also open yourself to possibility. Life is full of surprises, and not all of them are bad. Sometimes, what seems like a problem or a setback is actually a gift in disguise. Opportunities often come from chaos. Growth comes from uncertainty, and resilience comes from navigating storms. The moment you stop struggling against what you cannot change, you become free to focus on what matters most: your choices, your actions, your attitude, and your growth. In this space, real peace begins, and life becomes less about control and more about flow. Part 2. The illusion of control. From the moment we are born, we are taught that control is important. School teaches us schedules and timetables, showing us that success comes from following steps carefully and staying organized. Parents often emphasize rules and discipline, explaining that good behavior and obedience lead to a secure future. Society reinforces this idea by presenting formulas for success. Study hard, get a good job, save money, and follow the rules. We grow up believing that if we follow these steps perfectly, life will follow our plan. But the truth is far more complicated and far more freeing. Control, as we imagine it, is largely an illusion. You can plan every detail of your life, from your career to your relationships, from your finances to your daily routines. Yet life has a way of defying those plans. A sudden illness can interrupt your work. A lost opportunity can derail your career. A simple misunderstanding can change the course of a friendship. Even a moment of unexpected joy, such as a surprise gift or an unplanned meeting, can shift your entire day. None of this is failure. None of this is your fault. Life is simply unpredictable. The more you cling to the idea that you can control it all, the more frustration and anxiety you will experience. The realization that control is an illusion can be uncomfortable at first, but it is also the doorway to peace and freedom. When you begin to see control as an illusion, a remarkable change happens. You stop blaming yourself when things go wrong. You stop blaming others for outcomes you cannot influence. You stop carrying the heavy burden of what-ifs. The endless cycle of worrying about every possible mistake, failure, or problem that might arise. Instead, your attention turns to what you can actually do. You focus on your actions, your reactions, and your attitude. You begin to understand that while you cannot control every situation, you can always choose how you respond. And in this choice lies real freedom. This is the power that comes from seeing life clearly. Understanding the illusion of control also changes how you experience fear and stress. Most of our anxiety comes from imagining worst-case scenarios and attempting to prevent them. We feel the pressure to keep everything in order, as if life will reward us for our careful planning. But life does not work that way. When you accept that control is limited, fear loses its grip. You realize that the unknown is not your enemy. It is simply part of life's design. You learn to move forward with courage, trusting that you can handle whatever comes your way. This mindset allows you to act decisively and think creatively, rather than being paralyzed by worry or hesitation. The beauty of understanding this illusion is that it opens doors to resilience and joy. When you stop trying to force life into a perfect shape, you become flexible and adaptable. You can navigate challenges with calmness. You can appreciate unexpected moments with gratitude. You can pursue your goals without the heavy weight of perfectionism. Life becomes less about controlling everything and more about responding wisely, learning continuously, and growing steadily. In embracing the illusion of control, you find a deeper, truer form of mastery. Mastery over yourself, not over the uncontrollable world around you. Part 3. Why worrying is useless. Let's be honest with ourselves. How many times have you stayed awake at night, your mind racing with thoughts about something that might go wrong? How often have you worried about a conversation, a decision, or a future event, only to later realize that the problem either never happened or resolved itself naturally? Worrying is a strange habit. It tricks us into thinking that thinking about a problem will somehow prevent it, but the truth is the opposite. Worrying is like sitting in a rocking chair. It keeps you busy, gives the illusion of movement, but it takes you nowhere. No amount of worry can change the past, predict the future perfectly, or control people and events. All it does is drain your energy, cloud your judgment, and steal the joy from the present moment. When you understand this, a powerful choice opens up to you. Instead of giving your mind to endless worry, you can ask one simple question. Can I act on this right now? If the answer is yes, then act. Take steps, however small, to address the situation. Action transforms anxiety into purpose, fear into confidence. But if the answer is no, if there is literally nothing you can do at this moment to change the outcome, then the wisest choice is to let it go. Let it flow out of your mind like water running through a stream. This simple practice, repeated over and over, reshapes your mental habits. It stops the endless cycle of fear and what-ifs that dominate most people's thoughts. Worrying rarely solves the problems we imagine. Often, the things we fear the most either never occur or are far less serious than we anticipated. By obsessing over the future, we miss the present, the moments, people, and opportunities around us right now. Worry chains us to events that may or may not happen, leaving us paralyzed, exhausted, and frustrated. Imagine spending every day thinking about a potential failure, a conversation that could go wrong, or a decision that might lead to loss. Meanwhile, the present slips away unnoticed. Life is happening, and we are too busy worrying to notice it. Replacing worry with action and acceptance changes everything. When you act on what is possible and release what is not, you stop being a prisoner of what might happen. You begin to become a creator of what can happen. You reclaim your energy, your focus, and your peace. You learn that your mind is not a tool for predicting disasters, but a resource for solving problems and improving your life. Worrying less doesn't make you careless or irresponsible. It makes you stronger, calmer, and more effective. This mindset also brings freedom. Freedom from fear, freedom from imagined disasters, and freedom from unnecessary mental burdens. When you no longer invest in worry, you notice a clarity in your thinking, a calmness in your actions, and a joy in the everyday moments you previously ignored. You begin to live in the present, appreciate small victories, and approach challenges with a calm, clear mind. Life does not become perfect, but you become better prepared to handle it without being weighed down by thoughts that have no power over reality. Remember, worrying is a habit, and habits can be changed. Each time you catch yourself spiraling into what-ifs, pause, breathe, and ask, can I act on this now? If yes, act. If no, let it go. Over time, this simple practice will transform your mind, your energy, and your life. You will no longer be controlled by fear of the unknown. Instead, you will become a master of the present, calm in chaos, and focused on what truly matters. Part 4. The Power of Letting Go. Letting go is one of the most powerful skills you can develop, but it is often misunderstood. Many people believe that letting go means giving up, quitting, or accepting failure. In reality, letting go does not mean any of these things. Letting go means understanding the natural limits of your control and deciding wisely where to invest your energy. Life is unpredictable, full of moments that cannot be managed or predicted. Some of these moments bring joy, others bring challenges, and many simply pass without notice. When you attempt to control every detail, every person, and every outcome, you carry unnecessary weight on your shoulders. You strain against forces that are far beyond your reach. Letting go allows you to release that weight and reclaim your strength. Start with the small things. Notice the moments when you try to control situations that are not yours to control. A friend's reaction, someone's opinion of you, an unexpected outcome at work. Each time you feel the urge to manipulate or force, pause and ask yourself, is this really within my control? If it is not, practice releasing it. Let go of the need to be perfect. Let go of the expectation that others will behave exactly as you wish. Let go of outcomes that have no impact on your core values. Every time you release these burdens, you create mental space, a calmness that allows clarity and focus to emerge. You begin to feel lighter, freer, and more at peace with the reality of life. Letting go also means freeing yourself from other people's opinions. Most of us spend far too much energy trying to please others, seeking approval, or avoiding criticism. But the truth is that no one can truly control your life except you. The moment you stop worrying about judgment, your energy shifts from fear to creation. You begin to act from your own values, your own goals, and your own vision. Letting go of approval allows you to live authentically and confidently, without being trapped in the endless cycle of seeking validation. Another important aspect of letting go is releasing attachment to outcomes. We often measure our worth, success, or happiness based on results that are outside our control. By focusing only on the effort we put in, our actions, intentions, and dedication, we free ourselves from disappointment. Life may not always deliver the results we desire, but it will always reward persistence, clarity, and courage. Letting go does not make you passive. On the contrary, it allows you to act decisively without being paralyzed by fear or doubt. Finally, letting go opens the door to creativity, growth, and peace. When your mind is no longer cluttered with resistance and fear, you can think clearly, respond wisely, and see opportunities that were hidden before. You can dance in the rain instead of cursing the storm. You can embrace life fully, accepting both its beauty and its chaos. Letting go is not a one-time act. It is a daily practice, a mindset that shapes how you move through the world. The more you practice it, the more natural it becomes, and the more freedom and power you experience. Part 5. How chaos can be your teacher. Chaos is one of the most uncomfortable experiences in life. It is unpredictable, messy, and often frightening. We naturally resist chaos because it challenges our sense of stability and control. We want life to be smooth, simple, and predictable. But the truth is that chaos is not our enemy. It is one of the greatest teachers we will ever encounter. When life feels completely out of control, it forces us to adapt, to respond, and to grow in ways that comfort and stability never could. The storms of life push us to discover strengths we didn't know existed, and they shape our character in powerful ways. Think about the last time something completely unexpected happened in your life. Perhaps it was a sudden change at work, a relationship that ended, or a health issue that surprised you. At first, the chaos probably felt overwhelming. Your mind may have raced with worry, fear, or frustration. But if you paused, took a deep breath, and faced the situation, you likely discovered something important about yourself. Chaos forces us to confront reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. In doing so, we develop resilience, the ability to recover, adapt, and keep moving forward despite challenges. Patience is another gift that chaos teaches. When everything is out of control, we learn that rushing or forcing outcomes rarely works. We must wait, observe, and respond carefully. We learn that life unfolds in its own time, and trying to accelerate it only creates stress. This patience, once cultivated, becomes a source of inner peace. It allows us to remain calm when situations are difficult, to trust the process, and to act with clarity rather than panic. Chaos also teaches us how to focus on what truly matters. When distractions and control illusions are stripped away, we are forced to identify priorities. We learn to distinguish between what is important and what is trivial. We begin to direct our energy toward actions and decisions that have meaningful impact, rather than wasting time on things we cannot influence. In this way, chaos is not merely disorder. It is a teacher that guides us to efficiency, purpose, and clarity. Consider the people you admire most. The strong, successful, and wise individuals. Every one of them has faced moments when life was completely uncontrollable. They have faced setbacks, surprises, failures, and uncertainty. But they did not surrender to fear. They accepted the storm, focused on what they could influence, and acted wisely despite the unknown. Their growth, resilience, and strength did not come from controlling every detail of life. It came from navigating chaos, learning from it, and using it to fuel their development. This is the essential truth. Your growth comes from what you cannot control, not from what you can. When you embrace chaos as a teacher rather than resist it as a threat, you begin to see challenges as opportunities. You stop fearing the unknown and start learning from it. You develop patience, resilience, focus, and wisdom, qualities that no stable or predictable environment could ever teach as effectively. Chaos, uncomfortable as it may be, is one of life's greatest gifts. The sooner you accept it, the sooner you begin to grow stronger, wiser, and more capable of handling whatever comes your way. Part 6. Techniques to stop worrying. Worrying is a habit that drains your energy, clouds your mind, and keeps you from fully enjoying life. The good news is that there are practical ways to calm your mind and reduce worry, even when life feels completely out of control. By practicing specific techniques, you can train your mind to focus on what matters, accept what you cannot change, and find peace in the present moment. These practices are simple, but when done consistently, they can transform your daily life. The first technique is mindful breathing. Sit quietly in a comfortable position and breathe slowly and deeply. Pay attention to the rise and fall of your chest, the sensation of air moving through your nose or mouth, and the rhythm of each breath. Your thoughts will naturally come and go, perhaps worries, plans, or memories. Do not chase them or push them away. Simply notice them and gently return your focus to your breath. This practice may seem simple, but it is powerful. It trains your mind to stay present, to let go of unnecessary thoughts, and to realize that the present moment is all you truly have. Over time, mindful breathing becomes a tool you can use whenever worry begins to overwhelm you. Another effective technique is daily reflection. Every day, take a few minutes to write down what is within your control and what is not. Look at your list honestly. Identify the actions, choices, and attitudes that you can influence, and accept the things that are beyond your control. This simple habit trains your mind to stop resisting reality and to focus your energy where it is most effective. Reflection helps you see patterns in your worries, recognize unnecessary mental loops, and build a habit of mindful, intentional thinking. It reminds you that while you cannot control everything, you can control how you respond. Visualizing letting go is a third technique. Imagine that you have a small box in which you place all your worries, doubts, and concerns. Once the worries are inside, close the box and set it aside. Feel the relief as you release these things outside your control. This mental exercise may feel symbolic at first, but it has a real effect on your nervous system and emotional state. The more you practice visualizing letting go, the easier it becomes to release worry in daily life. Taking small actions is the fourth technique. Even when life feels chaotic, there are always small steps you can take. Focus on the actions that are possible today, no matter how minor they seem. Perhaps it is responding to an email, cleaning your space, or taking a short walk. Action reduces fear, builds confidence, and reminds you that you are capable of influencing your life, even in the midst of uncertainty. Finally, practice gratitude. When life feels out of control, it is easy to focus only on problems. Instead, look for what is still good. A warm meal, a supportive friend, a small accomplishment, or even a quiet moment of peace. These things remind you of stability amid the storm. Gratitude grounds your mind in reality, encourages positive thinking, and strengthens your emotional resilience. By combining these 5 techniques, mindful breathing, daily reflection, visualizing letting go, taking small actions, and practicing gratitude, you create a mental toolbox to combat worry. Each technique reinforces the others, helping you stay calm, focused, and present. Over time, worry no longer dominates your mind. You begin to live more fully, respond wisely, and embrace life even when it is uncertain. These practices do not remove chaos from life, but they teach you how to navigate it with clarity, courage, and peace. Part 7. Stories of letting go. Let me share a story that illustrates the true power of letting go. A young man named David had been working at a company for several years. He was diligent, focused, and determined to move up the career ladder. He spent extra hours learning new skills, networking with colleagues, and preparing himself for a promotion he believed he deserved. In his mind, everything was planned carefully. He thought that if he did everything perfectly, success would inevitably follow. But when the day of the promotion arrived, it went to someone else. David was shocked and devastated. He felt frustrated, angry, and powerless. For a while, he tried to control the situation. He argued with his manager, stressed over what went wrong, and even blamed himself for not doing enough. But nothing he did could change the outcome. The harder he tried to control everything, the heavier the disappointment felt. After some reflection, David realized that his struggle to control the outcome was only increasing his suffering. He decided to take a different approach. He accepted that he could not control the decision of his manager or the circumstances that had led to someone else getting the promotion. He shifted his focus from external events to his own growth. Instead of wasting energy on frustration and blame, he concentrated on building new skills, helping his colleagues, and improving his performance quietly but steadily. David discovered that by letting go of the need to control the outcome, he was able to focus more effectively on what he could influence: his knowledge, his behavior, and his mindset. Within a year, something remarkable happened. Another opportunity arose, one that was even better than the promotion he had initially sought. It matched his true potential, gave him more responsibility, and aligned with his long-term goals. David realized that letting go of control over the first opportunity had opened the door to something far greater than he could have planned. By releasing his grip on the outcome, he had allowed life to unfold in a way that was richer and more aligned with his abilities. Stories like David's are not rare. In fact, they are everywhere. People who achieve true success, maintain inner peace, and find happiness are not the ones who control every aspect of life. They are not the ones who micromanage situations or obsess over every possible outcome. Instead, they are the people who control their minds, not the world around them. They focus on their reactions, their efforts, and their growth, while accepting that life is unpredictable. They understand that disappointment, setbacks, and unexpected changes are not punishments. They are lessons and opportunities for growth. The lesson is clear. When you try to control everything, you only increase your stress and limit your potential. But when you let go of the need to control outcomes and focus on what you can influence, you create space for new opportunities, creativity, and personal growth. Letting go does not mean giving up. It means trusting yourself and life enough to know that sometimes the best opportunities come when you stop trying to force them. By mastering this mindset, you gain freedom, clarity, and resilience, and you become ready to receive far more than you ever imagined. Part 8. How to train your mind. Training your mind to accept chaos is not an overnight process. It is much like training a muscle. It requires repetition, patience, and persistence. Just as you would not expect to lift heavy weights on your first day at the gym, you cannot expect to stay calm and composed in the face of life's storms without consistent practice. The mind, like the body, becomes stronger and more resilient through regular exercise. The good news is that every day provides opportunities to train your mind, starting with small, manageable situations and gradually building up to bigger challenges. Begin with minor, uncontrollable events that happen in your daily life. Perhaps your train is delayed, an important email goes missing, or a plan you made with a friend changes unexpectedly. These are small, everyday inconveniences, but they offer perfect opportunities to practice mental discipline. Instead of reacting with frustration, anger, or panic, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself a simple question. Can I change this? If the answer is no, practice letting it go. Release your attachment to the outcome and accept the situation as it is. If the answer is yes, then focus on what action you can take and act wisely. This approach teaches the mind to distinguish between what is within your control and what is not, and it trains you to respond rather than react impulsively. Consistency is key. Each time you encounter situations beyond your control and choose to remain calm, your mind becomes a little stronger. Each time you resist the urge to complain, stress, or overthink, you are exercising mental resilience. Over time, these small acts accumulate, creating a significant shift in how you experience life. You will begin to notice that situations that used to cause stress no longer disturb you as much. The delayed train becomes an opportunity to practice patience. The lost email becomes a reminder to stay adaptable. Even the unexpected changes in plans become chances to strengthen your calmness and focus. Another important aspect of training your mind is awareness of thought patterns. Often, we are not disturbed by external events themselves, but by the stories we tell ourselves about those events. A minor inconvenience becomes a catastrophe because our mind magnifies it. By observing your thoughts without judgment, you gain the power to choose which ones deserve attention. You learn to redirect your mental energy toward what is productive: actions, decisions, and attitudes, rather than being consumed by worry, fear, or frustration. This awareness is a cornerstone of mental training because it allows you to navigate uncertainty without being overwhelmed. With practice, a remarkable transformation occurs. You become calm in the face of uncertainty. You stop fearing situations you cannot control. Your mind becomes clear, focused, and resilient. You begin to invest your energy only in what truly matters: your choices, your actions, and your attitude. Life does not necessarily become easier, but your experience of it changes profoundly. You are no longer a passive victim of circumstances. Instead, you respond with wisdom, composure, and strength. Training your mind is the most valuable investment you can make because it equips you to handle whatever life throws your way. The storms remain, but your ability to navigate them grows, turning chaos into opportunity, fear into confidence, and uncertainty into clarity. Part 9. The Beauty of Uncertainty. Here is a paradox that many people struggle to understand. The very thing we fear the most, uncertainty, is also what makes life truly beautiful. From childhood, we are often taught to avoid the unknown, to seek security, and to follow a predictable path. We are told that life is best lived when it is orderly, safe, and under control. Yet, in reality, the unknown is where life's richness and depth exist. Without uncertainty, there would be no adventure, no challenge, no growth, and no surprises. Life would become flat, dull, and predictable, like a book you have already read from beginning to end. Chaos, unpredictability, and uncertainty are not problems to be feared. They are the colors that give life vibrancy and meaning. When we learn to accept that everything is out of control, a remarkable freedom begins to emerge. We no longer live in fear of what might happen. Instead, we begin to notice opportunities that were invisible before. We dare to try things we previously avoided because we feared failure or embarrassment. We take risks, explore new paths, and allow life to lead us into experiences we could not have imagined. The uncertainty of life invites us to be creative, flexible, and courageous. It pushes us beyond comfort zones and encourages us to grow emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Every challenge becomes a lesson, every unexpected turn a chance to learn, and every unplanned moment a potential adventure. The beauty of uncertainty also lies in human connection. When life is predictable, We tend to live in rigid routines and interact with only familiar faces. But chaos brings people into our lives in unexpected ways. Chance meetings, spontaneous conversations, and unplanned collaborations often create the most meaningful relationships. People we never expected to meet may become our greatest mentors, friends, or sources of inspiration. The unpredictability of human interaction reminds us that life is not a solo journey. Its twists and turns create opportunities for connection, learning, and shared growth. Uncertainty also deepens our appreciation for the present moment. When we accept that the future cannot be controlled, we become more aware of what is happening right now. We notice the small joys, the warmth of sunlight, a smile from a stranger, the laughter of friends, or the quiet moments of reflection. Life, in all its uncertainty, becomes more vivid because we are fully present. We begin to see beauty in imperfection, opportunity in adversity, and possibility in unpredictability. Chaos, rather than being a threat, becomes a teacher, a guide, and a source of inspiration. True freedom comes not from controlling life, but from embracing it fully, in all its uncertainty, unpredictability, and chaos. When we stop resisting, stop fearing, and stop trying to micromanage every detail, life opens its doors to endless possibilities. We grow in ways we never imagined. We experience joy we never thought possible. We discover strength we never knew we had. Life's beauty lies in its uncertainty, and the more we accept this truth, the more vibrant, fulfilling, and meaningful our journey becomes. The storms remain, the unexpected continues to happen, and the future is still unknown. But now, instead of fearing it, we embrace it, and in that embrace, we find true peace and freedom. Part 10. Your daily practice. If you truly want to live a life free from unnecessary worry, it is not enough to understand the principles of letting go and accepting uncertainty. You must turn these ideas into a daily practice. Small, consistent habits that train your mind and shape your experience of life. Each day provides countless opportunities to practice acceptance, focus, and mindfulness. By making these practices part of your routine, you gradually replace fear, stress, and anxiety with clarity, calmness, and resilience. Begin your day with acceptance. The moment you wake up, remind yourself that the day will have surprises. Some will bring joy, others will bring challenges. Some events will go exactly as planned, while others will unfold in ways you cannot predict. By accepting this truth first thing in the morning, you set the tone for the entire day. Acceptance does not mean passivity. It means recognizing reality as it is and preparing your mind to respond effectively, rather than reacting impulsively or with frustration. Next, focus on what you can do, not on what might happen. Life is full of what-ifs, possibilities, and uncertainties. Most of them are beyond your control. Instead of being consumed by them, concentrate on your actions, your choices, and your attitude. What can you do today to move closer to your goals? How can you respond to challenges with wisdom and patience? When your energy is focused on what you can influence, you accomplish more, feel more confident, and experience less unnecessary stress. Equally important is learning to release what you cannot control. Let go of outcomes, other people's opinions, and situations beyond your influence. This is often the most difficult part of the practice, because it goes against the instinct to control and manipulate life. But each time you release control, Even for a small moment, you free your mind from unnecessary tension. You create space for creativity, peace, and perspective. You discover that you can face uncertainty without being overwhelmed by it. Throughout the day, take mindful actions. Breathe before responding to frustration. Pause before reacting to setbacks. Notice your thoughts and redirect your energy to constructive behaviors. Even small actions, when taken with intention, build confidence and reduce anxiety. Each mindful step strengthens your ability to navigate life's challenges calmly and effectively, teaching your mind that it does not need to fear uncertainty. Finally, end your day with gratitude. Reflect on what went well, what you learned, and what brought you joy, no matter how small. Gratitude shifts your attention from what is lacking or uncertain to what is abundant and meaningful in your life. It reinforces a sense of peace, accomplishment, and presence, reminding you that even amidst chaos, life offers stability, beauty, and opportunity. This daily practice is not easy. Old habits of worry and control are strong, and the mind naturally gravitates toward fear. But the more consistently you practice acceptance, focus, release, mindfulness, and gratitude, the easier it becomes. Slowly, fear fades, anxiety reduces, and life feels lighter. You begin to understand a profound truth. Control is an illusion, but peace is real. By making these daily habits a priority, you train your mind to embrace life fully, navigate uncertainty with courage, and live each day with clarity, calmness, and freedom. Final words. Don't worry, just live. My friend, life is unpredictable. Plans will fail. People will disappoint. Opportunities you worked hard for may slip through your fingers. Sudden changes, unexpected events, and challenges will always appear when you least expect them. And that is okay. Life is not meant to be controlled, no matter how carefully you plan. Life is meant to be lived, fully, freely, and courageously. The moment you stop resisting what you cannot change, something incredible happens. You begin to feel a calmness, a sense of freedom, and a clarity that you may never have known before. Here on English Achieve, we have explored how releasing control, embracing uncertainty, and focusing on what you can influence can transform your mind and your life. When you stop worrying about what is out of your hands, you discover a strength that is quiet but unshakable. You find the freedom to act wisely in the face of chaos, to love deeply without fear, and to grow continuously, no matter what life throws at you. You realize that the storms around you do not have to disturb your inner peace. The secret lies in responding thoughtfully, rather than reacting impulsively. So today, take a deep breath and release your grip. Accept the chaos, let go of perfection, and stop trying to control every outcome. Trust the flow of life. Allow things to unfold in their own time. Notice the beauty, the lessons, and the unexpected blessings that appear when you stop forcing life to fit your plan. Life is messy, unpredictable, and often overwhelming. And that is what makes it so extraordinary. Don't worry about what you cannot control. Instead, live fully, respond wisely, and embrace each moment with courage and presence. When you do this, you will discover a life far richer, freer, and more meaningful than you ever imagined.